Hello everyone, we're going to be on the Song and Silence from 3rd edition D&D. This is a continuation of the Prestige class videos. We're going to do Outlaw of the Crimson Road for this one. It's definitely a thief-based Prestige class. Let's read in, see what an Outlaw of the Crimson Road is, and then from there we will look at the requirements, your skills, any new proficiencies you'd gain, your hit dice, and then we'll look at the table, what all's on it, and then we'll read into greater detail its descriptions. So, Outlaw of the Crimson Road. It's often said that you don't choose the Crimson Road, it chooses you. The Crimson Road is how folklore often refers to the outlaw's life because it is bloody and dangerous. But while you may come to outlawry through no fault of your own, most outlaws unquestionably bring the fate upon themselves. The Outlaw of the Crimson Road is totally cut off from the normal society. Anyone is free to kill him without legal reprisal. That is very common in Norse law. Like, I've been doing a lot of Norse history over the years. If you were declared an outlaw, as long as you were within the country, or even outside the country, as long as it was your countrymen, they could kill you with no reprisal whatsoever. But they would also give a time frame, in most cases. For the next 10 years you're an outlaw, or for the next 5 years you're an outlaw. And usually when they declared that you're an outlaw, they do it at a legal proceeding, and if you're there, they don't do anything to you. You're allowed to leave, and after that, people are allowed to hunt you. For writ of outlawry has already revoked his rights to trial and due process. Whether or not he's truly guilty of the crimes attributed to him, there's a reward for putting his head on a pike or hanging him at a crossroads. The requirements to become an Outlaw of the Crimson Road. You have to have a base attack bonus +4. You have to have 5 in bluff, 5 in disguise, 5 in gather information, 5 in intimidate, and 5 in ride, and those are ranks. The following feats, you need to have expertise and improved initiative, and for a Pathfinder that'd be combat expertise. I still don't like the fact that they put it as combat expertise in 3.5, so it's like, just call it expertise. It is what it is. It had its own definition in what it did. Weapon and armor proficiency. Oh, hold on. Special. An appropriate legal authority must pronounce a right of outlawry upon the character, though he need not actually be guilty of any of the crimes named therein. In addition, the character must swear to abide by the outlaw's code. So, the outlaw's code. Each outlaw of the Crimson Road must choose a group that is immune to his depredations. For example, the pirates of the Penzance refused to rob orphans, while Robin Hood spared the poor. Some outlaws refuse to steal from members of the opposite sex, of their own race, or of the clergy. In return, the group grants this immunity, idolizes the outlaw, and aids him in times of distress. For example, members of the chosen group might provide a hiding place or send pursuers in the wrong direction. An outlaw who knowingly harms a member of his chosen group must atone for his misdeeds. See the atonement spell in the player's handbook. Until he has completed his penance, he loses all class features from the prestige class except weapon and armor proficiencies. Your hit dice is a d6 when you level up in this. Your weapon and armor proficiencies. You're proficient in all simple weapons, 1 martial weapon of choice, and 1 exotic weapon, the net, as well as with light armor. Your skill points at each level, 6 plus intelligence modifier. The quick list of the skills would be the same skills a rogue would have, but let me go ahead and go over the skills. Appraise, balance, bluff, climb, craft, diplomacy, disguise, escape artist, forgery, gather information, hide, innuendo, intimidate, into direction, jump, listen, move silently, ride, search, sense motive, spot, swim, tumble, use magic device, use rope, and wilderness lore. So the only thing different between the rogue list and this list is you get into direction and wilderness lore, which are kind of like rangery skills that allow you to survive in the wilderness. So survival would be the only thing you need to add to the rogue list of skills. And then like balance becomes part of tumble in Pathfinder. Move silently and hide are considered stealth. Your spot, listen, and search is perception. So the list gets smaller from what I listed when you just use the appropriate edition that you're playing on this, if it's newer. Now let's look at the table. It has a rogue's base attack bonus progression. At first level, it's a +0, and by the time you reach 10th level, it's +7. So if you looked at a first level rogue, and then every level you could see where their base attack bonus is, that's how the prestige class progresses. And this would stack with your existing bonuses, so every time you would reach a part where you would have 2 attacks from your total bonuses adding together, you would get those. Fort and reflex save are your best saves. So if you look at any core class that has a save that starts at a +2 at level 1, that's its best save. It follows that progression. By 10th level, you'll be at +7. Will save is the worst save for this prestige class. So if you look at a core class that starts at a +0 on the save, that's the worst save for the class. By the time you reach 10th level, it's only a +3. So at first level, you get ambush +1d6. At second level, you get life on the Crimson Road. At third level, you get ambush +2d6 and evasion. At fourth level, you get fugitive's luck and leadership. At fifth level, you get ambush +3d6 and life on the Crimson Road. At sixth level, you get fugitive's luck and improved evasion. At seventh level, you get ambush +4d6 and ranged disarm. At 8th level, you get legend. At 9th level, you get ambush +5d6 and fugitive's luck. And at 10th level, you get cheat death. So one of the things I want to note is if you get evasion and improved evasion, if you have that before you enter the prestige class, have one of them, then you would get the improved version at the earlier result. And then when the improved version comes around, I would give them a rogue talent or a bonus feat. During a surprise round, this is ambush. During a surprise round, the outlaw can make an attack against any target who hasn't yet acted. If successful, such an attack by the first level outlaw of the Crimson Road deals +1d6 points of extra damage. This amount increases by +1d6 for every 2 additional outlaw levels the attacker has. Creatures immune to sneak attack are likewise not vulnerable to this special damage. A ranged attack delivers the extra damage only if the target is within 30 feet. If the character already has a sneak attack ability from a previous class, the extra damage from the ambush stacks with his sneak attack damage, but only if the conditions are also right for sneak attack. And if they haven't acted in the first round, that would make it right for sneak attack, at least on a surprise round. Life on the Crimson Road. The outlaw has learned much from his time on the wrong side of the law. At second level, and again at fifth level, he may take on one of the following bonus feats: alertness, improved disarm, improved trip, mounted archery, mounted combat, quick draw, ride by attack, spirited charge, trample, weapon finesse, and whirlwind attack. Prerequisites apply normally for the choices. Evasion. At third level, the outlaw gains the evasion ability, if he does not already have it. Fugitive luck. At fourth level, the outlaw of the Crimson Road gains a +1 luck bonus on all saving throws and +2 luck bonus on escape artist check. These bonuses increase to a +2 and a +4 at 6th level, and a +3 and a +6 at 9th level. So leadership. Also at 4th level, the outlaw gains the leadership as a bonus feat and begins to attract a band of like-minded cohorts and followers. These may range from people he squared in an earlier encounter, people he spared in the earlier encounter, to would-be lieutenants drawn by his growing reputation among the homeless commoners he protects. Some of these cohorts and followers may join the outlaw in his hideout and operate openly at his side, while others might help by providing safe houses, alibis, supplies, and possibly even cover identities when needed. After all, an outlaw who enters a town where there's a price on his head has a better chance of maintaining his cover if he has a good disguise and some innocent-looking companions. Improved evasion. At 6th level, the outlaw gains the improved evasion ability if he does not already have it. So like I was saying about evasion and improved evasion, you get the upgraded one. If you had evasion when you first entered the prestige class, you'd get the upgraded one when evasion appears on this. And then after that, I'd give you, they have the Life of the Crimson Rogue list for bonus feats. I'd just give you access to that when it came up. Now, if you had improved evasion, then you would have 2 more bonus feats to cover your evasion and your improved evasion on the table. Ranged disarm. At 7th level, the outlaw can use range attacks to disarm opponents within 30 feet. Doing so doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity from the defender unless a normal ranged attack would. So if you're like next to somebody in melee and you're firing, regardless of a ranged weapon the outlaw is using, it counts as a one-handed, medium-sized weapon for the opposed disarm check. The outlaw cannot lose his own weapon during such an attempt. Legend. At 8th level, the character's reputation gains him a +4 circumstance bonus on bluff, diplomacy, gather information, and intimidate checks. This bonus applies only when he is interacting openly with others who know his reputation, and not when he is in disguise or otherwise unknown to those to whom he is dealing. Furthermore, the outlaw's status as a legend counts as great prestige for purposes of acquiring cohorts and followers with the leadership feat. Cheat Death. At 10th level, an outlaw of the Crimson Road gains the extraordinary ability to avoid a fatal blow. This reflects the difficulty inherent in bringing the career of any truly remarkable highwayman to its final close. The Cheat Death ability functions exactly like a rogue's defensive roll, except that any source of damage, including spells and traps, can be avoided, and the outlaw need not be aware of the attack beforehand. Once per day, he can make a reflex save DC equal to the damage dealt to take half damage from an attack, spell, or effect that would otherwise reduce him to 0 or fewer hit points. If the effect directed at him allows a reflex save for half damage, the outlaw's improved evasion ability comes into play as it normally would, but improved evasion does not otherwise help him cheat death. Of course, an unscrupulous outlaw who knows that someone is about to storm his hideout might use his disguise skill to switch clothes with a flunky. Then all he has to do is feign death from some relatively minor injury, one that dealt enough damage to kill the flunky, and make a quiet exit as soon as his killers are occupied elsewhere. Ruses such as this often help to extend an outlaw's career. Now, I'd take away ambush by name and just put sneak attack, so that way you get more use out of it. Also, I would, like I was talking about the evasions, I would give them the option for those bonus feats for the evasions, or in Pathfinder, extra rogue talents. What changes would you all make to the Knight of the Crimson Road? Was this a good prestige class? Did you enjoy it? Put it all in the comments below. Until we all game again, guys.